The FBI has just uncovered a big wire fraud plot involving Tiffany Henyard, and it's far worse than anyone could have predicted. But how did everything fall apart? Tiffany has also been exclusively seen reacting to her prison sentence following the bust of her scheme, and it's safe to say, things aren't exactly looking good for her right now. So, be sure to stick around till the end for the full details. While Dolton's finances were going out of hand, Tiffany Henyard was living large and flaunting a lifestyle that was completely out of line for a small-town mayor. She was traveling in luxury and had $1 million security detail, so things weren't exactly adding up to say the least.
The most corrupt mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has now fled the country after stealing millions of taxpayer money.
A packed community meeting Thursday night, outburst after outburst. Following Special Investigator Lori Lightfoot's limited examination of Dolton's finances. Her report revealing as of May 31st, the village's general fund had a negative balance of $3.65 million. Lightfoot further uncovering spending that doesn't add up. The report shows $40,000 spent on Amazon purchases in one day, money that's unaccounted for.
The most corrupt mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has now gone missing and has supposedly fled the country after it's revealed that she has stolen $3.6 million of taxpayer money. This situation and Tiffany Henyard's actions has garnered controversy online. Commenters claimed that this is what happens when you vote for people based on skin color and that Tiffany Henyard is an entitled woman.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. This way you'll never miss out on any future celebrity videos similar to these. After the unexpected death of longtime mayor Frank Zuccarelli, Tiffany Henyard came on strong, portraying herself as the town's savior with a number of audacious pledges and big plans. She was essentially a local celebrity in those early days, attending events, cutting ribbons, and ensuring that everyone knew she was in control. For a while, it seemed like Dolton needed a new face with new ideas, and she was just that. However, despite her impressive start, things quickly began to go wrong as the first indications of problems appeared in her administration. Tiffany Henyard's leadership style became somewhat combative, particularly with anyone who dared to challenge her. She soon made it obvious that she didn't value cooperation or open communication. Instead, she preferred to make the decisions and wasn't hesitant to stomp out anyone who stood in her way. This firm attitude caused rifts inside the town's administration, which resulted in conflicts with the village board and other authorities. Additionally, the extravagant promises she made seemed to require an endless supply of money, and Dolton's finances started to suffer as time went on. Her spending became out of control, and she began to live more like the mayor of a large city than the head of a small town. Reports about her extravagant purchases of designer clothing, opulent vacations, and an expensive police security detail began to surface, costing the town an astounding $1 million.
I do anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
You're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded.
We can't band together at this time, at this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right? Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream, but guess what? I am the dream.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor, if y'all ain't learned that yet.
For a while now, people have been in disbelief of her actions and how power-hungry she is, and will ruin the lives of the people of her town that she represents for her own expense. She doesn't sound like an upstanding civil leader by a mile. We have generations of people who genuinely believe they are God, and we are all paying the price. I have listened to her many times, and I think she is mentally unstable. I don't think she sees anything wrong with what she does. She appeared to be using Dolton's budget as her own personal piggy bank, taking money out of it whenever she felt like it. Her shopping binge became legendary, with tales of her spending thousands in a single day on Amazon gourmet meals and ostentatious devices, all the while ignoring the town's fundamental necessities. Things in Dolton were becoming very bad, and while she was living it up, there was a clear contrast between Henyard's opulent lifestyle and the town's financial difficulties. Dolton's bank account was collapsing. The budget, which had millions of dollars in reserve, was now in the red due to mounting debts. Residents began to notice that services were being reduced, maintenance was falling behind, and their quality of life was generally declining. However, the tipping point was reached when it was discovered that Dolton owed over $3.5 million, which was a significant amount. The community was stunned by the news, which made it apparent that this wasn't merely a few poor budgeting decisions, but rather significant financial mismanagement.
Creating chaos. You do not stand for me, and I want you to step down.
The mayor of Dolton, Tiffany Henyard, lashed out at her board of trustees during another tense meeting.
She vetoed the board's decision to require the village to open its financial books, as well as the board's call for a federal investigation into misuse of funds.
The Dolton community's rumors about Tiffany Henyard's extravagant spending began long before the FBI opened an investigation into her. The manner she was living it up was rather extravagant, especially for a mayor. Not only were people talking louder about her expensive outfits and lavish vacations, but they were also beginning to notice her ostentatious purchases and dubious financial decisions. They were beginning to wonder how she was paying for all of this and if it was legitimate. Things reached a breaking point when Dolton's shopping spree caused her finances to collapse. The town, which had previously been in good financial standing, was suddenly facing a multi-million-dollar deficit. This was a significant event, and it didn't take long for outside authorities to learn about it. Before we go any further into the video, what are your guys' honest thoughts on this entire situation? Is it looking likely Tiffany Henyard will face a long time behind bars as a result of her actions? Or will she continue to get away with her reckless spending? Comment down below. Henyard's old ally, Carmen Carlisle, criticized her for acting in an unethical and predatory manner. Today, I am breaking my silence and speaking out against Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor of Dolton Tiffany Henyard, who I believe has engaged in unethical and predatory behavior throughout her tenure. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success, funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. I am standing up, not just for myself but for others who have been affected by what I see as Henyard's abusive leadership. I believe there are many more victims who have been retaliated against, fired, or lied to by Henyard, but have yet to speak out. The FBI got involved and dropped 2 significant subpoenas that changed the course of the inquiry after learning enough about the Henyard spending to pique their curiosity. They then dug into the town's financial records. The first one focused entirely on Henyard's private business affairs. The goal was to see whether there was any crossover between her private ventures and her position as mayor. They were particularly interested in identifying any potential conflicts of interest or unethical behavior that could have affected her choice. The second subpoena focused on the township's financial records, seeking evidence of any instances of mismanagement. This was significant because it meant the probe encompassed not only Henyard, but also Dolton's whole financial circumstances during her tenure. What began as an investigation into Henyard's finances evolved into a more comprehensive review of various officials and organizations in Dolton. The FBI wasn't just concentrating on her, they were also looking into the entire administration, including other village officials in any businesses that dealt with the town. This indicated that the situation was grave and that there might be more than one corrupt individual involved. Only time will tell what's going to happen from this mess of a situation, and hopefully justice prevails for all the citizens of Dolton. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.